I don't know if I'm gonna be able to keep you entertained, but I'm gonna make it light, okay? Because it's the last presentation of the day, and I guess that you are a little bit tired, or not? Did you get enough coffee, everybody? And well, first, thank you very much for the conference organization for opening this track in English for FlixBus. Our topic is 7. I was almost ready to say 7. I don't know. 7 best practices for IVR, CUX, conversational UX design. I will explain what is an IVR later on, but I guess that in this conference, the most of the people know what is an IVR. And I have to do this speech at the beginning of every presentation. Flix is a German company, launched in Germany in 2013. We are currently operating in Europe, in Brazil, in the United States, and after the recent acquisition of Greyhound, we are operating through Greyhound in Mexico and Canada. FlixBus has in total of more than 350,000 connections in more than 2,000 destinations in 35 countries, and soon you will hear more of our next ventures. And for today, the agenda is these 7 best practices for IVR, conversational UX design. And before that, I will introduce you to the vision for customer service automation for Flix. And at the end, I will wrap up everything with some key takeaways. On my side, I'm Carmen Martínez. I'm a senior conversational UX designer working on the automation of call center with conversational AI at FlixTech. And I work in a cross-disciplinary team composed by data scientists, data engineers, software engineers, conversational designers. And together we are putting a lot of work currently on automating the customer service hotline over telephony. We were having a chatbot in Facebook. Don't look for it because it's dead or it's most likely frozen. It's not completely dead. And we are also having in our roadmap a chatbot for Q2 of next year. I'm transitioned from academia to the industry in 2018. As is common in the industry, conversational UX designers are linguists, the most of us. I'm a PhD on conversation analysis. That is the discipline that studies inside of sociolinguistics human-to-human conversation from an interactive and pragmatic approach. And during the pandemics, I dedicated my time to recover some of my activities in academia by publishing a book in Spanish in Peterland, but I guess that today I'm not gonna buy a lot of them here. Okay, so the Flix vision for customer service automation. Very complex markets, many languages only for FlixBus, and I'm speaking only for the telephony. We are currently supporting 19 different languages. The model in FlixBus is that we have a global English support. So independently of the product and independently of the market, you can always call us in English. And for FlixBus, we have English as a global support, but also FlixBus operated in the UK and the USA. We have German for Germany, Switzerland, and Austria, Polish, French for France and Switzerland, Italian for Italy, and Switzerland, Portuguese for Brazil, and from Portugal we have 2 varieties, Czech, Slovak, Danish, Swedish, Dutch, Spanish for Spain for FlixBus, Turkish, Hungarian, Romanian, Croatian, Ukrainian, and Bulgarian. This is FlixBus. FlixTrain, we have again English support, and we are operating in Germany and Sweden, so we have German and Swedish support. And after the acquisition of Greyhound, we have English from the United States as a main contact language for Greyhound, but also we are operating in Canada and in Mexico, so our IVR is working also in French, Canadian, and international Spanish. It's not really accurate to call it Latin American Spanish. What is our vision to our customer service automation over telephony? So basically pretty much of what I have been hearing during the day here. So there is a first phase in which we are still providing and we will still be providing for a long time human support over the telephony, but there is data processing, there is organization of the work to be done till we have enough material, so basically to start running the system. That this is in the current stage in which we are. The calls are going mainly to human agents, but at the same time we have gathered enough information to roll out our main to roll out the automation of our main contact reasons. That is our basically final ride, track your bus, and where is my bus. And the final goal, but it's gonna take, of course, a lot of time. And this is like a very ambitious vision, and I don't think that it will be fulfilled before 5 years, is that we will have like a automated or system-centric support in which the calls will go to an automated agent. And if the automated agent cannot recognize this, or in the best of the cases, can already do the estimation that it needs human support, then it will be only handled to the human agent. So this is in a very, very high level our vision. And after that, for those who doesn't know what is an IVR is it stands for interactive voice response, and is a technology that allows humans to communicate with a computer, or these days cloud-based telephony system, through voice or the DMF tones, no, like this key pad touches that you have as an option in your telephone keypad. And this is the technical definition, but as other presenters have also highlighted, when you ask people what is an IVR, or you explain them what is an IVR, they say, yeah, this thing when I try to call my bank or my insurance company and I want to talk with an agent, but there is this music and this cue thing, I hate your IVR, you know? And why people hate IVRs? Because they are created with this kind of mentality of please don't call us, no? So this is maybe a little bit of a hard truth, but yes, we don't want them to contact us maybe so much. So they are full of these strategies for call avoidance, and sometimes the abandonment rates are not treated as negative metrics, they're actually treated as positive metrics. And there is these waiting time announcements that they are discouraging the callers to stay there on hold and get into the human agent, telling you that you're gonna need to wait like 3 hours to get into the human agent. Or they tell you that there is an unusual activity. I don't know what could be this unusual activity. Maybe some aliens has hijacked the call center and therefore you cannot get your support. And yeah, in the worst case, you know, there is downtime because the aliens have eaten not the human agents, the call center managers. That would be like best case scenario, you know, like to have like a test team without no business stakeholders anymore, you know. And you have them full of these static long messages that actually they are replicating your FAQs content into the auditory channel, and they make the listener, the caller, very tired. Or there is this elevator cue music, or you try to speak with the IVR and the IVR doesn't understand you. So very discouraging experience. But this is very hard to change, actually, because this is an old technology. And this is like a very old TED mindset attached to IVRs. But remember that we love the data. We need the data, because without their data, we cannot make sense of what they are waiting for us. So we have to switch over a please call us mentality, in which we will create persistent conversations with them that will create caller engagement through the phone call. And we can use that data basically to understand the reason of the call, to do all the data modeling and all the processes we need to properly build the system, so we can decide if we can automate the use cases. In some of the cases, it's not going to be possible. We're going to need a human agent still, or we can suggest a self-service solution, or still is this kind of very important contact reason that it needs to be handled over immediately to the human. And for that, we are trying to make our IVR and also the automations in Google Dialogflow. We have attached to them more conversational. And these best practices apply to both the IVR part of the experience and also the automations in Google Dialogflow. Okay, so I'm speaking everything as a whole. Okay, so what are those best practices? The best one is to avoid apologetic language and vocabulary with negative sentiment. This is very typical of IVRs. You know, like IVR are full of these messages in which you're telling your customer everything that you cannot do for him or her or there. And this is very bad, no? Because negative sentiment creates an unfavorable image for the brand and a super frustrating caller experience. And you are going to experience it now firsthand. It seems.
We're sorry that we can't offer any further support to you over this contact channel. Please visit the help section of our website, which offers solutions to all our customers' frequently asked questions.
Okay, so very bad. This is even personalized. We are sorry we can't offer any further support to you. You know, like it's personal to you. What can you do to change this? So you can use your conversational UX, your conversational copy to motivate your customers to adopt your self-service solutions. And for this, it's important to be transparent with the level of the service that you are offering over the telephone. No, all contact reasons are supported, and if there is a self-service option that is covering that use case, just you can inform it. And here is when the linguistic hand comes, you know, with a little bit of a left hand, I will say. You don't command your customers to do something. You present it like a new piece of information. So instead of saying, please go and cancel your booking here, you can just suggest, did you know that, by the way, we have this self-service tool there? You can use it by yourself.
Did you know you can cancel your booking on our website? To do so, first visit the service page and then select Manage My Booking.
I will show you later that you can take this experience one step further. Okay, second best practice, to use caller-centric vocabulary. This is another common mistake of the copies of the IVR, and because they are fed by business and tech stakeholders, so therefore it's full of business and tech jargon. And customers don't express themselves on those terms. Maybe if you are your own stakeholder and you're calling your own IVR, maybe you understand what you have put inside, but normal people don't understand so well this term. And when you don't understand those terms, the interaction becomes ambiguous because you don't really understand the message so well. And also, technical and business terminology make the tone more distant. And of course, this is going with the brand. For FlixBus, because the needs of customer we have to be more close to our customers. So this is something that you can tweak also on the base of your brand. So here you have this this example in which somebody had chosen to use the word verified and input.
Please verify your input.
Okay, what is an input in this case? So maybe you want the customer to enter again their booking number because it hasn't been recognized. So the solution here is to adopt the voice of the customer. It's there, it's in your logs. You can mine for it and replace it with replace your specialized terminology with the one that they use.
Please enter your booking number again.
Okay. So the third one is to control the density of politeness markers. And what is a politeness marker? A politeness marker is a word that exists in all the languages that express deference through the other speaker. So thank you, please, or the conditional form of the verb. Would you like to have a drink? And that express more deference at politeness. Okay. This is very tricky because to put them into system responses basically don't sound natural, because systems shouldn't be flattering or obsequious. I'm going to give you an example later of how systems are supposed to be. Following the metaphor of the system, they have to be reliable and they have to be effective. And also another problem that comes with this kind of copy is that in the IVR, it's tended to use we as the pronoun that represent the system, because we originally is intended to mean we FlixBus or we FlixTrain, but there is not FlixBus or FlixTrain anymore. There is a conversational agent. It has a persona with it, so it's best practice to personalize it with I. So I'm gonna show you now this example.
Please enter your 10-digit booking number after this message.
And the user entered the booking number.
Thank you. Hold on a second while we verify your input. Thank you. We have found your reservation.
Too obsequious. And how many robots are there working for you? You know, there is only one. And
open the pod bay doors, Hal.
Yeah. Wait.
I'm sorry, Dave. I'm afraid I can't do that.
It went. Sorry.
What's the problem?
Yeah, I wanted to play this short clip as an example of Hal being very polite. No, I'm sorry, I cannot do that for you. I'm sorry, you had to do it. You are my system. So I think that here we are going into a little bit of the field of ethics of AI. And basically we are building a system, and the system has to sound as a system, and therefore has to be conveying efficiency and reliability. It has to use I or passive voice, like here in the example when it says your booking has been identified. It's acting as an interface that is translating to you a process that is happening in the back end, and it describes it to the user in passive form, because the system is not doing it itself. It's working as a conversational interface. And please forget about thank you. You don't need to thank so much, but please, it's important to be used preferably when the system is requesting something from the human user, because humans can command systems, but systems cannot command humans.
Please enter your booking number followed by the hash key. Your booking has been identified.
Okay, so this is the change. Okay, next one. I think that many people have talked about this today. The avoidance of lengthy instruction, no? I think that I'm not gonna even play this for you because I don't want to torture you so much at this time of the evening. But you have here 98 words that are 1 minute long. And the reality and research, the research more than reality, says that human short-term memory collapses after 10 seconds of auditory input of instructions. So I am speaking to you face to face and giving you instructions, and we are together, and you can replicate my instruction with movement. It's gonna work more time. But if you have only auditory, the auditory channel active, you have 10 seconds for that. And we know that those lengthy announcements don't improve the color experience.
If you already have,
I'm not gonna play it, but you know, some people will think again that, you know, if we put them inside, they will hang up. And you have to remind them, no, we want the data. We cannot do those things. So yeah, sometimes it's gonna be impossible not to receive this. It's not gonna be possible to receive these business requirements, but something that you can do is to reduce the length, to make it shorter, and also if you have a self-service option to route them, for example, sending an SMS.
Did you know that you can send a new copy of your booking to your mailbox from our website? To do so, follow the link in the SMS you just received.
So this is the next step from the self-service solution that I described before. You can tell how to do things, but also you can use the routing option of the IVR to send an URL that they can use. Okay, the next best practice is to provide instructions according to the mental model of the caller. And this is as easier as presenting the information in a logic order, because humans have difficulties basically replicating tasks that based on instructions that don't follow an optimized logic order. So here, for example, in this example, is ambiguous if the message related to the FlixBus app or to the FlixBus website.
All information about additional and oversized luggage can be found in our FlixBus app or on the FlixBus website under the menu service, submenu luggage.
Okay, so how can you fix this? Basically designing actionable announcements. So you can simplify the task. You can list them in the exact order in which they should be replicated by the caller. And also you can use discourse markers, enumerations like first, second, last, finally, that create this logic in the sequentiality.
Did you know that you can check the information for special luggage on the website? To do so, first visit the service page and then select luggage.
Okay, we are getting into the end, and here we have the dialogues and the menu, sorry. So here the best practice is if you have a menu of DTMF options that, till you have all your stack of intents ready, you will have for a while, maybe. The best practice is to keep them to a maximum of 5 options, because again, human working memory is limited.
To buy a ticket, press 1. To manage your bookings, press 2. For bus delay information, press 3. To get the address of a bus stop, press 4. To check available routes and find a trip, press 5. For general questions, press 6. For other inquiries, press 7. To listen again option, press 8.
Yeah, and you and the 8, maybe you're going to remember that you wanted to press 4. And some of these menus, they are designed as a way that they cannot be bailed off. And why did this happen? Because the technology back then was like this. Yeah, it was a decision tree. It was so many options. Let's put them together inside. But today we are aiming for this kind of intuitive and transparent experience. That, following these classical best practices, you can improve, offering the most relevant options at the beginning of the menu, because you know that the most of your customers, they want to buy a ticket when they call you, but of course it's going to be always somebody that wants to call you because they want to know if they can travel with their dog or with their cat in FlixBus. So this process will be never optimized for its caller. So what is the solution? Using implicit menu navigation, but for that you have to have the rest ready. So the solution is what everybody knows, why we are here today, to listen about more ideas of how to solve this problem, is to have intent recognition of natural language, to use caller context so we can reach into this final experience in which the user is calling you, the system is answering, how may I help you? And through the context, through the caller ID, through the booking number, you know that that person arrived to Berlin on Thursday to Alexanderplatz and has the return ticket to Cologne the very day when he's calling you, and he's calling 2 hours before the departure. So you can see that, and you can offer the bus stop that is matching the departure right back to Cologne. So the main takeaways of the presentation are: reducing one, IVR are death or are in the way of being completely terminated. And because what we are aiming today is for a new UX of conversational AI that will foster natural conversation through the interaction, so we can take this caller input in voice or in text if you are building a chatbot, and integrate the data into your big data iterations, so you can make efficient decisions and clever decisions about your automation, the level of service that you're going to offer through different channels, and reserve your resources for meaningful human support. If you found this content interesting, the full article was published in the FlixTech blog and also in LinkedIn in March. This is kind of all this material. I have been also publishing in Conversational UX from 2018. I'm trying to sell my book one more time, but everybody speaks German here. I don't know if somebody can read the Spanish, but as a early release is coming a version in English, not soon, but it will come. And thank you very much for your attention. And I'm open for your question later in the table, but mainly in English. Thank you.